Hello and welcome back to the 10th Pint Podcast. We're here with me, Lucas Normal, and Beefham.
All right, lads.
We're also here with boxer Sam Maxwell. How are we, mate?
Good, mate. Good to be here.
Well,
Yeah.
First one, not in the studio, so.
No, it's bizarre, this, isn't it?
I know it is weird, isn't it? Yeah, we normally get started off with, how did you get into boxing and that type of thing?
Okay. Yeah, well, I lived in London, and I used to do kickboxing in London, like semi-contact kickboxing, and I enjoyed it. So when I moved up to Liverpool, my mum put me in a local kickboxing gym, and I liked it. But my cousin was at a boxing gym, and I thought I'll go down and join, see what that's like for a day or two. And I just went the first day. I just enjoyed it, and I just liked it better than kickboxing. I just stuck at boxing then, and just went with it.
So obviously you've been to the ABAs, you've been to some big tournaments as an amateur. But I think what would you say the highlight of your amateur career was?
Highlight of my amateur career, probably winning the ABAs the first time, because it was a big deal for me, because maybe always doubted how good I could be, and I just left my old gym and moved to the Solly, and just winning the ABAs that year, and just proved to myself that I'm how good I was, and won the title, and it was a springboard for my career as well. Won the ABAs, got entered into the GB tournament, won the Great British tournament, and got picked for Team GB. So definitely winning the 2011 ABA championships at lightweight.
So
how
old was you when you had your first amateur fight?
My first amateur fight, 11, I think I was 11. It was. So I went in straight into the schoolboys, and back then you had to do a thing called a proficiency test. If you haven't had any fights, to go in a championship, you have to have a thing called a proficiency test. And so I went, did a training, and sparred this kid, Gary Austin, his name is. I know him now, see him now. I want the rematch with him, as sparring him, and I just battered him. I got the better of him in sparring. I was thinking, yes, easy. But then in the tournament, I got in the schoolboys, I drew him. So I was like, I just battered him last week in sparring, this will be easy. But it was different on the fight night, and he just got the better of me, a bit more experience, a bit tougher, and just beat me. I was gutted, wounded, but went back to the gym straight away on Monday, that following Monday, and got back to it.
Yeah.
But I see him now. We train at he trains at. Well, he used to train at Frankie Knuckles Boxing, the amateur boxing club. And I see him, and he's still about the same size as when I fought him, to be honest. I wish I would have gone for the rematch, but he's not into boxing anymore. I don't think he's just ticking over kind of thing.
Yeah.
Was it always boxing? Was there obviously you said you started at 11 there. Was it always you're going to become a professional boxer, or was there anything else?
No, do you mean I just loved boxing from the first day I went. I joined when I was 10. I went, and I just loved everything about it, the atmosphere, how hard everyone trainers looked. Just brilliant. Loved it. Loved the competitiveness of it. But I also was doing kickboxing. I was very good at kickboxing, and I was playing rugby, and I liked rugby, but I was just too small. I would show my woolly backside here. I used to play rugby for a team called Fatterweed Crusaders, and I loved that as well. But I was just too small, no good really. Do you mean? And but it was only till I was so my record till I was say 14, 15 was just 50-50. Wasn't that good? Wasn't 50-50, but it wasn't a standout record. You wouldn't look at my record and think he's going to be a champion in. It was only when I was 15, I went into the junior ABA final. 15 or 16, I went to the junior ABA final, and I got to the final. I beat some top kids, and it was only then I realized, I'm really good at this. This is something I could do. And I remember I got an award in school for sports through getting to that final, and the school gave me a grant as well to get a head guard, and it was just I realized, this is for me. I'm good at this, and that's where I started pushing on and taking it a bit more seriously.
Just staying on topic, with your amateur career and that. Obviously, you fought Lomachenko in 2015. How good is he? Because I watched you fight before with Lomachenko. Was that the World Boxing Series? Yeah. How good is he?
Unreal, lad. Twice I fought him in that in 3 weeks difference. Once in Kiev, I went to Kiev. I was supposed to box Rudenko. He never turned up, and Lomachenko turned up, and I ended up having to fight him. I was gutted, Dad. But I'm glad that the second time I fought him, I wasn't supposed to fight him again. It was supposed to be called John Joe Nevin. He was from Ireland, but something went wrong with his contract, so he ended up fighting for us. And then Josh Taylor was supposed to be fighting him, and Josh Taylor, a week before, we when we trained on Team GB, he just went over on his ankle, sprained his ankle, so he couldn't fight him. So I had to do it again. But I'm glad I did, because the second time I did a lot better. But he's unreal. It's like he knew what I was going to throw before I even threw it. Do you mean? So like, yeah, I was just unreal. I didn't even want to throw anything because I knew he's just going to slip and counter or do something. It's just hard.
That reputation before you, like, obviously now because it's on a bigger stage, the pros? Did he have that reputation of being like one of the pound for pound best in the world in the amateurs as well?
One of the best amateurs of all time. Like one of the best. Like there's been some greats, but he had like 390 amateur fights at the time. Only lost one to Selmanov, and he's double Olympian. And I've just literally just got on the squad. I've only been on the squad for a year. So, but I think like people, like the coaches do well. They tell you he's good and they show you videos of him, but they let you know that you can beat him. Look, you can land this shot on him and stuff like that. Like try and big you up a little bit to keep you not feeling so negative. But he was just unreal, lad.
I believe you could beat him though. Like honestly,
I thought I could. The first time I was thinking, he's unlucky. I got a drawing, but I'm gonna beat him. Then beat me easily the first time, but then the second time again, I thought I'll beat him this time. I'll land my 1-2s. I'm gonna beat him. Like I really did believe in myself, and the coaches maybe gave me a bit of confidence to think, you can beat him. But he's just too good.
So obviously you made the transition to being a pro. Actually, no. We'll go back to you won the Commonwealth medal as well, bronze medal.
Yeah. 2014. That was it. I had a really good year. 2014 was probably one of my best years in the amateurs. I won a lot of tournaments, and then went on to box in the Commonwealth. And I only lost to Josh Taylor, and look how well he's done now. It's a close fight with him as well, and he's gone on to be world champion, could be unified world champion. So no shame in that loss. And probably that was my biggest medal in the amateurs. Like most known, like because I'd be going to tournaments and beating Russians and Kazakhstanis, and no one really cares. No one knows. Like your mates don't even know, but like everyone got to see me in the Commonwealths, and it was a big moment for me. Like everyone got loads of recognition. It was a good tournament.
So why not the Olympics? Because normally that seems like the natural step for someone that's a successful amateur, especially in Britain.
For me to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, I joined the squad in 2012, and I got picked to go to the last national Olympic qualifier, and it was in Trabzon, Turkey.
Yeah.
And I beat the number 1 seed. The only person to beat Lomachenko, lad called Albert Salmanov, and I drew him in the first round. And I remember everyone was like patting me on the shoulder, like, it doesn't matter if you lose, like, good luck next time. Like, he's a tough competitor. But I beat him. I stopped him in the third round, and then but the only thing that was like a gold medal for me, because no one expected me to win. It was like once I beat him, it was like I could relax then. I wish I would have fought him in for the medal in the final, because I would have got to the Olympics. But I beat him. Then I boxed a lad called from Moldova, lad called Peter Apostle, and beat him. And then for my medal, it was against Turkey, the Turkish fighter. The lad was from Trabzon as well, and it was a close fight. The first round was close, and then I went back thinking, I might have just lost that round, and like 2-1 or something, because it was back to when it was computer scoring. And I was losing 10-0. I just was like, I remember just being in the corner, like, there's no way I can win. I just felt so sorry for myself, and just not good. But I was this close to going 2012 Olympics, and then never went. Stuck in the amateurs. You get good funding in the amateurs as well. Good, well paid on GB squad. That's why they pay you well, so you stay amateur. And then I went to the Commonwealths. Thought I'll try and stay for the 2016 Olympics, but a lad came through called Pat McCormick, and he hit form as I was like dipping a bit of form really, and starting to lose a bit of form, losing a bit of motivation. He just took off and took the spot, and he deservedly took the spot. But that's why I didn't go to 2016 either.
So obviously then you've turned pro. Like, so why did you turn pro? Why did you not stay amateur and maybe chase like the next Olympics? Or
because I was getting old. I was 27, 26 or 27. I can't remember. Getting old anyway. And I would have just known. I would have been full of regrets, thinking, I should have turned pro. I could have done this. I could have done that. So I just thought it was the right time. I'd lost a bit of motivation. I'd been there for 5 years, and I just thought it's the right time to turn pro. And I've still got a lot to offer in boxing, and I can definitely make a statement in the pro. I was looking at some of the pros around, and I'm thinking, I can get up there with these names.
Yeah.
Do you know turning from? How did you find like going into like, do you know, the media spotlight and stuff like that? How did you find all that?
Turning pro.
Yeah.
Well, being on Team GB, so you get we got a lot of practice, and it's a great setup. They have media training days for us and help us how we're going to answer questions and take it, like, it's just really good. So that put me in preparation for it. And plus, I went in that World Boxing Series, what's it called? WSB, World Series Boxing. And so that was like being a pro as well. I've got a lot of recognition. Literally, even down to the fights were like being professional. So turning pro was just, it wasn't that much of a transition for me.
Yeah.
If anything, my fit, like, because I didn't get a proper test till my 10th fight for my title. Like, I remember my debut just fighting the journeyman, and like in amateurs, you might throw a few shots and they're not going to land. You find someone who's very, very good. And I remember just being in the debut, I just threw like 4 shots and every shot landed. I was just like, what? This is just mad. And, got a bit carried away, tried to land 10 or 20, and I just blew a gasket. I was tired then, so I didn't end up getting a stoppage. But yeah, it was a good transition for me. I think it was a great setup on Team GB, and put me in good preparation for turning pro. So it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
You say like the
I haven't really hit the spotlight yet. I think my next fight, that'll be the one. Hopefully, get a big fight, and then people are get known a bit more known. Like after my last win against Joe Hughes, I got a bit more recognition from the boxing people, but I still haven't really hit the mainstream, like more casual type fans. But hopefully they get to see me this year and in some big fights.
Yeah.
You have that knockout that's got like is it like 1 million views, is it? Against
something like that. Maybe more. That's crazy.
What were you thinking in that round? Because like he's sort of like toying, isn't he, a bit? Like he's messing around, thinking he's won the fight and that.
Yeah, like, I was just thinking, fucking hell. Like my coach Danny, he says to me, he said, Sam, you need a big round. You need a big round here. So that basically means you need a knockout. So then I start the round and boxing, thinking like what shots are going to land in that. And then he catches me a bit off guard and I wobble again. So I'm thinking in my head, oh man, I've lost this round. Like definitely lost this round. Like I'm really have to go and put it on him now. And he starts showboating, dancing. I'm thinking, but in my head, I was thinking he's tired. That's why he's doing it. Because if he wasn't tired, he would have just jumped on me, threw loads of shots. He's just trying to bluff, trying to kid his way through the round. So I was just thinking, please just let me catch him, let me get him. And the first time the whole fight, I just planted my feet and just let 2 shots go, and they both landed, and everything just worked perfect. He held his feet, he came in a little bit, I held my feet, threw the shots, landed, and just seen him going down. I seen him hit the floor heavy, but I just was thinking, like, see if you get up now. Like, I didn't think I knocked him out, but I was buzzing that I got him. Like, I was like screaming at him, saying like, look, like it's your turn now. And he never got up. I was like, mad.
Yeah,
it was the best feeling ever. Such a relief, lad. It was a massive relief.
It's the stuff of dreams, that, like, innit? Like, if you're writing a story, that'll be the end of the morning.
Innit? Like, people go the whole career without a moment like that, and so I got to test everything about myself there. I know if I ever get in a fight and I'm hurt, or I know what my corner's like if I'm hurt, they still got the belief in me, and I learned a lot about the fight. I got memories of it everywhere. My bear just bought me for Christmas. She bought me like a mouse mat for my computer. I'm at the computer here. And then she bought me a calendar. The January is that. It's everywhere, lad. I'm milking it.
Boss that.
Is anyone that you've got your eye on then, talking about future fights that, like,
Yeah, I'm fighting the British champion, British and Commonwealth champion. His name's Akeem Ennis-Brown. So he's my next opponent. We haven't got a date set yet because of this COVID thing, but that's my next fight, and I can't wait for it. Can't wait for the fight. I'm gonna put on a show, I feel, and I'm not underestimating him because he's beat some really good names, like big names in boxing at my weight. But I know he's not for anyone like me, and I'm looking forward to going and showing just how good I am.
Do you know your last fight with your lads? That was during COVID, weren't it? How did you find that, like, without a crowd and stuff like that? Was it much different?
It was a bit weird, but I'd experienced it in the amateurs. Like, I've been to like Estonia, boxing a sports hall with 2 people in there. So that side of it was good. Wasn't that bad, but it was just weird. I could hear the commentary, like they'd say, "Oh, like Joe's using his Sam's catching Sam with a few jabs there," and like I could hear it, like thinking, it was just mad. And you could hear their corners saying things, and I could hear Danny, my corner, saying a lot more as well. So it was a weird experience, but a lot less stress. Like. Selling tickets and making sure my family's in the venue and everyone's got in the right seats and everyone's there okay. A lot less stress in terms of that. But for the British, like all these people have paid so much money to come watch me over the years against journeymen and knocking them out in one round, or not high level fights other than that Siberia one. So I just wish there was a crowd for this British title, because they come watching me on all these little fights and I finally get a big fight, massive fight, and they might not be able to be there. So I'm just fingers crossed. Even if they only let like 200 fans in, so like we all get like 50 tickets each or something like that.
Yeah. Is it harder to get up for a fight, like when no one's there? Because obviously you must get an adrenaline rush from the fans and your family being there.
Yeah. Well, luckily I'm not one that goes off that. Like some people that might their performance, they need the buzz of the crowd, they need to drive them on or pick them up. But I don't. Like I guess with the camera there anyway, there could be 100,000 people watching at home, so you need to be at your best. And but no, it doesn't really. It's easy for me to get up for it because I don't see it as any different. Like when you're in the ring, you've got tunnel vision anyway, so there could be 10,000 people in the crowd, but there could be one. Like you don't even really realize.
So what in the future? Like what do you think what's your dream, like where you want to finish off boxing? Like what you want to achieve? What is success, so to speak?
Well, my next fight is a massive one for me because I remember growing up watching all the shows on Sky when Frank Warren was on Sky. Like for people winning British titles and massive fights, and like I'm gonna have that title. I'm gonna have that title and Commonwealth title, and I'll go down. Like there's a man called Keith Wallace. He's from round mine in Prescott, and he won the Commonwealth title as a pro and done well in the amateurs. I did a bit. He went to the Olympics in the amateurs, so he did a little bit better than me, even though I won a Commonwealth medal. But he won a Commonwealth title as a pro. So if I win British and Commonwealth, I'll be mentioned with him. So like if anyone's talking about the best people in Prescott, I'd have to be named. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So it's a big deal for me winning this fight. But then it opens so many doors as well. Like I'm ranked because I'm ranked 12th in the WBO, and the champion is Ramirez, and he's fighting Josh Taylor to unify the title. But say either one of them unifies, they might move up in weight, so that will vacate the title. So if I get myself to top 10 ranking, I've got a shot to be picked by, and if whoever the two vacant people are fighting, I've got a chance to be in with that slot. So it could be a world title shot and world title, which it sounds mad like me saying it because how far my career took off. But that's a realistic goal for the next year or two, is get a world title shot and then see what I can do.
What'll be your dream venue to do that in?
What dream venue? I'd love to do it in Vegas.
Vegas,
yeah, something like that. Some big one like that. That would be unreal.
Yeah.
What
advice would you... Oh, go on, Luke.
No, you go on.
I was about to say, what advice would you give to like a young up-and-coming boxer?
I was thinking about this today. Like, obviously, if they're really considering to go to the top level, amateur or pro, I think picking the right gym for you, being dedicated to your sport, not looking past things, put your time in the amateurs, and then that's going to set you up for the pros. But I was also thinking there'd be times when I was younger and I'd be fit, I'd be training hard, training for the rounds, but in the fight I might be a little bit tired after a round or two, and I'd be thinking that's mad. Like I've trained so hard for this fight. Why am I feeling tired? Like it's not drastic pace, but what it is nutrition. So I think it's a massive key thing for the kid, any young boxer looking out. They've got to start looking to get themselves in a position to get themselves a nutritionist, whether they get sponsored or whether they just find a way to pay for that themselves, because it's key. Like my last fight against Joe Hughes, that was my first 10 rounder, first time going the distance for 10 rounds as well, and I just felt great. But I've been fighting maybe a 5 rounder and I trained just as hard. After 3 or 4 rounds, I was feeling a bit tired. But this fight, higher pace, good pace, thinking and physically tiring. But I felt great, and I think it's just literally down to my nutritionist, Edward Tooley, EC Nutrition. So yeah, big key thing, guys. Get your nutrition sorted, and that take you to the next level.
What about psychology? Have you ever looked into sports psychology or work with a sports psychologist as well?
Definitely, like I said, we're lucky on Team GB. We had 2 sports psychologists, so they teach you how to deal with scenarios like in training or in a fight, or when you're feeling down, when you're feeling up, like how to deal with things. And it's massive. And like you don't realize how much of a big part that is in boxing. Because some days you perform amazing, and then another time you perform rubbish, but you feel like you've trained both the same for them, and literally it's just how you feel psychologically has made the difference in your performance. And I'm a massive believer in that. And you know, what I found out as well is when you get to the level what I've been at in the amateurs and hopefully get to in the pros, we've got the lads who have got to that level, they've all got, even if they haven't had psychologists, they've all got their own things that they've been working for them anyway. Like we're all really good at dealing with our nerves, motivating ourselves, you know, focusing on things we can control and ignoring things we can't control. But I think a psychologist will take that to another level and really develop more skills for yourself. And I'm benefiting from, at the moment, I don't have one from since GB, but I Google things and go on the internet, and there's some good sources there which you can find. But I've had a few messaging me lately over Instagram, so I'm gonna have to get in contact with them before my next fight, because I really believe in that's a massive part of boxing is your psychology. I wish I could talk better. I can't speak, me.
What you the type to study a fighter before you like get in the ring with them, or do you leave that down to your coaches or whatever?
No, definitely you sit down with your coach, watch them, because you pick up, people have habits and what do you call them, like habits and things they do often. So even if they don't know they're doing it, it's just a little thing, and your coach might be able to pick up on it, you might be able to pick up on it, your friend might be able to pick up on it. So you definitely want to be watching little things they do, but you don't want to be changing your game plan really massively to suit them or what they're going to be, because people could just turn up to the fight completely different. I've had that happen before in the amateurs, where you're training for this guy, he boxes long, he moves around, and then you get to the fight and he just runs at you. So you don't really focus on too much, but you might pick on habits, like after he throws his right hand, he drops it a little bit, little things like that. Definitely you want to be studying to capitalize on them. But I haven't watched any of Akeem yet, but all the people around me have been watching him. I was planning on watching him today, but I'll just start tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you've seen him. He's got the maddest style. Like you look at him, have you watched O'Hara Davis? Do you think he's terrible, isn't he?
Him, yeah.
You've seen him?
I haven't seen it.
He's a freak with his punching, but he's terrible. But this Akeem's off like that. Like he's that awkward and unorthodox that he's beaten some really good names. So it's hard to read anything of him though, because his style is just mad. Just.
Do you have any superstitions, before your fights and that?
Yeah, of course. I had more in the amateurs, but I still have a load now. But I have to change my boxies. I have to have a new pair of boxies. I have to have a new pair of socks. I've got my lucky Buddha, comes everywhere. I've got all kinds of. But in the amateurs, I must have had loads. Like I'd have to put my right glove on first, my left glove on, my right shoe, my left shoe. Like all that. But then, or you need to do little things like my mom would always, and my girlfriend always send me good luck cards and little things like that. I always need that to make me feel good. But then there'd be sometimes I go to a tournament and I've got nothing, and I'm like, oh, I forgot my Buddha and I've not got my good luck cards, and stressing. And then I go and win the tournament and get best boxer, and I'm thinking, you know what, you don't need it. So it's not like the performance isn't dependent on it, but it just makes me feel good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like having them.
What's the plan?
I'm a narcissist. Look at my room. I got a picture of me there. Shorts there. I'm a narcissist, you know. But it's not me. I never bought it for myself. My missus bought me that, and she bought me the shorts as well. Crazy.
Have you got any plans like after boxing? You might not like have thought that far ahead yet, but you've got any idea?
Oh, definitely. Like I've not thought. Like I have thought that far ahead, but I don't know. Do you mean like what do I do? Like all I can see myself doing is boxing, but I might go into like personal training or something like that. But hopefully I get a world title shot, make some money. I can go into like property developing or something. Something easy.
What do you think of all this like YouTube boxing and that? Like that's quite big on Twitter at the moment.
Yeah, like they're flying. They're getting paid millions because they've got a massive fan base. So no one cares about the level of boxing. They just want to see their favorite people fight, and smashing it, absolutely smashing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
Talking
moan
about like fighting McGregor or Mayweather, it's just mad. And there's that much money involved that they have to take it seriously and they have to do it.
like a lot of people have a problem with it, don't they? But personally, I think like who's more likely to inspire a kid like now to go to like a boxing gym? It is a Logan Paul or a Jake Paul, and if that produces the next like generation of boxers in Britain, that's like a good thing. It's just, you know what I mean?
True. And people in it, what are people jealous or something? Do you mean it's like they're getting paid millions? They're opening boxing up to people who are never going to watch boxing, like you said, never going to train in boxing. It's opening up to all these millions of people, so it's only a good thing, I think. Especially if like, so say that's the top of the bill, they put like a load of other fighters on that it promotes a higher level of boxing as well. So it benefits boxing definitely.
Have you got any more questions before we finish up, Ethan?
Yeah, we always finish on what's your favourite pint?
Pint?
Yeah.
What do I like? Like San Miguel. I'm gonna say San Miguel. I haven't been on holiday this year. On holiday, it's San Miguel.
Yeah, it's a good shout, that.
Right, so thanks for watching, everyone. This episode sponsored by Ateropolis. If you want to go over to their Instagram or the web.
Yes, Ateropolis is sick.
Got
a few hats over there, bro.
Yeah.
Danny, legend.
Right, so we appreciate you coming on, mate. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, nice one.
Right.
No worries, Adair. Thanks for having me. Anytime. When you get back to the studio back open, if you need anyone in, get me in. That'd be good.
Yeah, if I will.